A very warm welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have you join us again on Alnon Finance and Wealth Reports this week. As you know, your source for latest happening information in the financial sector of the nation's economy. My name is Faith Wadi. On this edition of the program, we'll kick off by bringing you the exclusive interview I had with Mr. Wole Oshin, the Group Managing Director of Custodian and Allied Insurance PLC. In focus would be the Nigerian insurance industry, challenges and prospects. Speaking during the course of the interview, Mr. Oshin stated that insurance as a product is never bought but sold. As such, it requires some form of compulsion by way of compulsory insurance products to get people interested. On Insurance 101 this week, we'll bring you a continuation of our report on the comprehensive business insurance, which is ideal for small business owners. Plus, we also bring you highlights of the 46th Annual General Meeting of Law Union and Rock Insurance PLC that took place recently at the Ajib Recital Hall, Muson Center here in Lagos. These are more what we have for you on the lineup this week, so I urge you, as always, to sit back, relax, and spend this time with us. But all the details are coming to you after this break. Please stay with us.
My name is D.A. Frekoha. I am the MD of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. I watch Armor TV program based on insurance, and I truly enjoy most of their program. They should keep it up. Thank you.
Alright, welcome back. On the set of Alnon today, I have the honor and privilege to be hosting Mr. Wole Oshin, who is the past chairman of the Nigerian Insurers Association and also the managing director and chief executive officer of Custodian and Allied Insurance PLC. He's my guest on the program today. I'll be looking at a wide range of issues as it affects the Nigerian insurance industry. Thank you so very much, sir, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start by asking. Insurance penetration is said to be low in Nigeria, no doubt.
Yeah.
How do you think the penetration can be increased?
Well, essentially, I think the issue here is first and foremost recognizing the fact that insurance is never bought and that it is sold. So there has to be some element of compulsion where insurance is concerned. And typically that could come from the banking sector, for instance, in the area of consumer lending. And in which case, once the consumer lending structure in the banking sector is open and people have access to credit, a lot more people who are buying goods will ultimately do some level of insurance. The other way in which the penetration can actually come to pass is for us to amend the regulation so that we can have corporate agents. If you have what I call pipeline sales, where you have a source that has so many potential insureds. Take, for instance, maybe a ShopRite, or you take a game, or you take an association. They control several thousands of potential customers. But the problem we have at the moment right now is the law does not permit corporate agents. So how do you remunerate them? What do you pay? Even with the telcos, we have to go through some detailed process to be able to get the telcos to be a part of the insurance program. So it's once we get around all these areas, I think penetration will be a lot more, because then you'll have a lot more agents and a lot more participants involved in the distribution process of insurance.
Okay, would you say that the problem with penetration is with distribution or with the fact that Nigerians don't appreciate insurance?
Nobody appreciates insurance anywhere in the world, and that's the reality. And let's first and foremost understand that in the UK, in America, in South Africa, in developed economies, nobody gets up to go and buy insurance. They are mainly debtors. Everybody there, yeah, that is the reality. So there's an element of compulsion. There's a very small element of compulsion, and that is what insurance rides on. And once we understand that, then we should now put in place our own processes that will ride on the back of that aspect.
Okay, now moving on, talking about compulsion, I do know that there are some insurances that are compulsory by law.
Correct.
But enforcement has always been a challenge, and it still is a challenge.
Yes.
So what do you think, or how do you think that the industry can actually pull resources together and ensure that government on its part enforce some of these laws?
Well, I think where it comes to the area of enforcement, I agree with you. That is the challenge, but there's a conflict, and the conflict is the fact that the insurance companies at the moment are expected to enforce. How do you enforce a potential customer? So that's the conflict, and I think that is the challenge that we have at the moment. We will need the assistance of government. We'll need the assistance of the regulator, if it means giving us letters, with the seal of the federal government, to move into premises and environments where they are not complying with the rules. But it won't be on our own letter-headed paper. Definitely, you're not going to go and enforce to somebody saying that you haven't complied.
Okay, so if you are asking the question, how then would you say that the same government who is not complying by the law will give you a letterhead that you can go and enforce the law for maybe any other?
No, well, I mean, when I say letterhead now, I mean maybe it could be our regulator, because they have the seal of the federal government, So if we have that will help us, But I know that using our own letterheaded paper, different, and this will come from different insurance companies. So you are quoting the section of the law that you have to do this, but of what potency will it have? The average Nigerian is afraid of anything that has the unicorn, the emblem of the federal government. They are scared of it, and they will run to go and comply. So I think a little bit of the federal government touch, either directly or through the regulator, will help.
Okay, moving on. Claims settlement appears to be a major issue between insurers and their clients. Is there anything the NIA is doing to assist clients when there is a dispute, which is quite common sometimes?
Yeah. I think the issue of claim settlement is an old age problem with the insurance industry, which I wouldn't really blame anybody in particular. But I want to say that there's been a two-pronged attack to this problem. On the one hand, the regulator is working on it on two levels. They're working on it. They've got a dispute resolution center in NICOM, that is working on claims settlements. And there's a draft regulation that's just come out now, which also places a lot of emphasis on consumer protection. So that's on the regulatory side. But on our side, the Nigerian Insurance Association, we about 4 years ago thereabout, set up a complaints bureau. The whole idea of the complaints bureau is to say to the insurance public that we are truthful enough and man enough to deal with our problems. In setting up the bureau, one of the things that we did at the time was to ensure that we had as its headship a retired Supreme Court judge, a man of great repute. He is the adjudicator of the process, and the association is actually very independent of the process. So you can write directly to the bureau, and the date of dispute resolution will be set, and you will come there with all your grievances. And we've resolved quite a number of cases through that process.
Okay, now, Mr. Oshin, someone has asked me before that why is it that NICOM is setting up complaints bureau, NIA, they also have a complaints bureau, to deal with some of these issues that come with from the insurance public. Now, why do I need to complain before an insurance company will settle my claim anyway? Because the only reason why they are in business is to pay claims.
Well, it's two ways. Insurance sits on law, and it's not all the time that the complaints are genuine, but I must say that there are also very genuine complaints. A lot of it sometimes come out of the results as a result of misunderstanding of how insurance operates. It will surprise you, it will interest you to know that at this point in time there are some people that believe once you pay premium, all risks are covered. And it isn't so. You know, so you do have challenges in some instances, but at the same time, there are genuine complaints that need to be dealt with. Now, the regulator, obviously, has its role to play, but we feel that, look, we want the insuring public to know that as an association, we will not in any way be on the side of an erring insurance company that is not meeting up with its responsibility. That's why we brought ourselves out and we said, look, let us be the first point of call. If whatever we're doing is not satisfactory to you, there are different layers. You can always report to the regulator. You can always go to court. There's so many dispute resolution avenues that can be put in place.
Section 3. Group Personal Accident Insurance, GPA. The benefits available under this policy includes the following. Death, a lump sum to be determined by the insured. Permanent disability, a lump sum to be determined by the insured. Temporary total disability, weekly benefits for maximum of 104 weeks. Medical expenses, a lump sum to be determined by the insured. Section 4. Group Life Insurance. Group life insurance benefits are arranged in multiples of employees' salary, say 3 or 5 times annual salary, or in a lump sum, and it is payable on death either through natural or accidental means. The Pension Reform Act 2014 makes group life insurance compulsory for employers of labor having not less than 3 employees. Section 5. Key Man Insurance. Key Man Insurance is an important form of business insurance which is taken out by a business owner to compensate the business for financial losses that would arise from the death or extended incapacity of an important member of the business. Section 6. Professional Indemnity Insurance. Professional indemnity insurance provides cover for professionals such as insurance brokers, lawyers, accountants, doctors, etc. for their legal liability towards third-party injury, loss or damage arising from their personal negligence or that of their employees. Section 7. Public Liability Insurance. Public liability insurance provides indemnity on the insured's legal liability to pay compensation to members of the public other than the insured's own employee in respect of accidental death, bodily injury, or property damage caused by employees or operation of the insured in the course of their normal duties.
Alright, welcome back. Moving on, we'll bring you highlights of the 46th Annual General Meeting of Law Union and Rock Insurance PLC that took place recently at the Ajib Recital Hall, Muson Center here in Lagos. As expected, the Annual General Meeting provided a platform for the board, management and shareholders of the company to rub minds and chart a new way forward for the company. Despite the very harsh operating environment, the company recorded a 21% increase in gross premium income from 3.44 billion naira in 2013 to 4.16 billion in 2014.
Law Union and Rock Insurance PLC was incorporated on the 17th of June 1969, primarily to market non-life insurance policies. In January 1999, it became a composite insurance transacting all classes of insurance business. Listed on the floors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on the 9th of July 1990, the company is today owned 100% by Nigerian shareholders. The board, management and shareholders of the company recently gathered at the Ajib Recital Hall, Muson Center for the 46th Annual General Meeting of the company. Having welcomed shareholders to the meeting, the chairman of the board, Princess Adenike Adeniro, sets the tune for proceedings.
For the sake of convenience and to enable us to take questions or comments on both my statements and the financial statement of the year ended December 31st, 2014, I will now refer to the first item on the agenda and call on the auditors representative to present and read the report of the audit.
Presenting the auditor's report, the representative of Ernst & Young, Mr. Kayode Famutimi, said that the financial statement gives a fair view of the financial position of Law Union and Rock Insurance PLC as at 31st December 2014. With the auditor's report and audit committee report taken, shareholders were given opportunity to ask questions and make contributions on how to move the company forward.
Sir, we will tell you that the way forward now is what I call aggressive marketing. Let every member of your staff be a marketer and attach some strings of incentive to it. That by the end of the day, money will just be coming left and right, left and right, left and right. You will come to see that yes, your gross premium will increase, and the shareholders, at the end of the day, you will have something to give to the shareholders.
Responding to some of the comments by shareholders, the chairman, Princess Adeniro, stated that the collective advice from shareholders is critical to the future growth and progress of the company.
A lot of other things you say, it may sound harsh, but they are the truth that we should know. If you have a child and you expect so much from the child, if the child knocks his feet against a stone, because of your care and concern, you will turn it into a battle. Can't you see? Are you blind? And all the rest of it. If it is somebody who doesn't care, he will just say, oh, sorry, and pass by. You care, and you are showing this in your comments. We don't regard it as bitterness. It's correcting what you perceive to be wrong. And that is the only way we can move forward. Advice from people, 2 good heads are better than one. And the collective wisdom of a gathering like this has a lot to do with the progress of the company.
Despite the tough operating environment which affected businesses across several sectors in 2014, Law Union and Rock Insurance still recorded a modest result. During the period under review, the company achieved a gross premium earnings of 4.16 billion naira from 3.44 billion naira in 2013, representing a 21% increase. Underwriting profit for the financial year was 1.03 billion naira, showing a drop in profit from 1.65 billion naira in 2013. Investment income, however, moved from 251 million naira to 366 million naira in 2014. Shareholders also used the occasion of the annual general meeting to re-elect the chairman and other directors of the board.
In accordance with Section 359 subsection 4 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 1990 as amended, members of the Audit Committee are subject to re-election on an annual basis, and the Audit Committee shall consist of an equal number of representatives of directors and shareholders.
The vice chairman, managing director, and some shareholders spoke on the way forward for the company.
Now, in terms of the strategy for the company, the bottom line, what has changed in terms of Law Union and Rock is also in terms of the retail strategy, focus and deepen the retail strategy. In terms of claim payment, that one is, so there's something that we don't even think about and discuss about. Once there's any genuine claim, within a few days, it has to be paid.
One of our selling points is number one, we want to bring products, that will be easily accessible to most of the insuring public. And one of the things that we have done is to kind of in terms of our motor insurance right now, we've been able to develop the scratch card system. So with the scratch card, you don't need to come to our office, just at the comfort of your office or maybe in your home. You just, buy the scratch card and then follow the instruction. And before you know it, you just see that the certificate, you get it straight away.
I believe that it's a journey, and on step by step, they'll be able to review how far they have gone and be able to satisfy their customers and the shareholders who provide the seed money which is used in the insurance company.
Going forward, the company is determined not to be left behind in the scheme of things. This they are poised to do by focusing on their human capital development.
Eta, move. You're in the firing line.
I'm not scared.
Oh, yeah? How about now?
Can you even throw this far? Told you you'd miss.
No.
Alright, that's the time on this edition of the program. I do hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I always say here, for comments, questions, observations, do feel free to get in touch with us on 017763981 or 08033357879, or better still, send us an email, almond4xx@yahoo.com or almondproduction@gmail.com. You can also visit us on our website, almondreports.com. Like us on our Facebook page, Almond Finance and Wealth Reports, and view past episodes of this program on our YouTube channel, Almond Reports TV. Join us every Wednesday by 9:45 a.m. live on Nigeria FM 102.7 for our Pidgin English program called Waiting Insurance They Do Save. Don't forget also to connect with us via WhatsApp on our number 08033357879. Keep a date with us same time, same station next week when we should bring you highlights of the 42nd African Insurance Organization Conference and General Assembly that took place recently at the Carthage Talasso Hotel and Resort in Tunis, Tunisia. As expected, over 1,000 delegates from within and outside the continent of Africa converged for 3 days to deliberate on the theme African Insurance Facing Mass Events. My name is Faith Owode. Until same time, same station next week, from all of us here, do have yourselves a wonderful time. Bye-bye.